Cho boy! Cho boy! Cho boy! Thank you very much. Let me stand on all existing protocols to address the assembly today. Indeed, I've been tasked with the enormous responsibility to speak on a subject that actually resonates with the collective aspirations of all of us seated here, so that in the end we can develop a stronger and a new Ghanaian identity, a new Ghanaian presence in the diaspora, to be able to foster growth and development for both human capital and infrastructural development. Maybe that will just be the formula for Ebeye Pinso. Ebeye Pinso. My responsibility is to speak on the role of international affairs in economic prosperity for youth development. Mr. Chairman and all people present, let me indicate that the Republic of Ghana does not exist in isolation from the broader regional and international community. And if this is the case, it is important for us to acknowledge the critical need to leverage on these international linkages to be able to create the kind of enabling environment that will put Ghana and the Ghanaian youth out there. There are a number of critical ways that our involvement in global affairs should principally be able to catapult us on the world stage. And I take this opportunity to establish the international affairs and economic prosperity nexus and to indicate that there are a number of critical things to consider in this domain. Number one is trade and economic integration. For us to have a new Ghanaian identity with our enabling youth out there to be able to take advantage of the potentials we have and the immense responsibilities that comes with, then we must be able to situate trade within the context of governance, where we are actually able to partner with the rest of African states and with the rest of the global economy. And that brings into the relevance of AFTA. With AFTA, we have an enormous advantage of harnessing about 3.4 trillion United States dollars of trade potential in Africa. But where lies the challenge? The challenge is the fact that in all our trade negotiations, in all our negotiations in dimensions of foreign direct investment, African governments, and the Ghanaian government in particular, has been quite unable to negotiate a good package that will inure to the financial benefit of Ghana, and in a manner that gives the opportunity for the Ghanaian youth to be able to have jobs in these multinational corporations with whom we sign trade partnerships with. It is therefore an important call to indicate that for us to be able to use the element of global affairs to empower our youth, then we should be going into collaborations that do not only negotiate good financial incentives in terms of national revenue, but one that will actually also create the opportunity for skill development and global education partnership. Previous speakers have established and underscored that those of us speaking today are doing so in the capacity of people who have been learned and have had the opportunity to school. And so the Ghanaian youth out there, it is important that for whatever decisions we're taking henceforth, we should be able to expose the Ghanaian youth to the right quality of education and educational partnership so that we are able to acquire both skills relevant for domestic problems as well as those that will empower us to be able to tackle global challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, let me indicate that in all of these potentialities, there are, however, a number of factors that bedevils our chances to be able to stand firm within the global stage. And cardinal amongst them are key issues that puts Ghana in a tight definition of a self-inflicted pain and the agony of retrogression. Cardinal of these points include what has been loudly mentioned as corruption. Young emerging leaders, I take this opportunity to encourage you that corruption is not a genetic trait anyone is born with. So if we think the old guns out there are corrupt, I want to reverse the coin and to flip it and to challenge that. Let us conduct an objective assessment of the younger generations who've been given the opportunity to actually lead and to serve in contemporary politics in Ghana. And you will realize that the young people out there in politics today are actually more corrupt than the old guns. That is the problem we have. We have people without work experience, and after a year of being in government, they are owners of real estate, they are owners of a lot of businesses. And so my challenge to you here is, the only education we need now is the education of integrity, the education of honesty, and the education of truthfulness. If we have this, we will be able to revolutionize our politics beyond just mere property owning and to be able to serve our nation with greater dignity. I want to challenge all of us as emerging leaders that in as much as there are a lot of things we can talk about, one of the important factors we should consider in our relations with other countries or people from other parts of the world is to endeavor that we do not indicate weakness or manifest vulnerability. But what is important is that we should correlate with the rest of the world and with the youth of other parts of the world from a position of trust, from a position of strength, from a position of resilience, and from a position of true African identity of hospitality. If we can do this, we will be able to advance the cause of development. If we can do this, we'll be able to write off thus far the demon of corruption that have eroded all the gains we have made. Successive governments have not been too fair with the country. We either go in for international transactions that are entirely to the benefit of the outside world and multinational corporations without any scintilla of conviction to be able to cooperate with these entities in a manner that gives room for the teeming Ghanaian youth who constitutes a broader labor force to have jobs that will bring dignity, to have jobs that will bring sustainability, to have jobs that will increase our commitment to not only earn decent income, but to actually also contribute a part of what we earn to the development of our country. I want to leave this podium today charging all of us to stand by the ideals of truth and integrity. Yes, my father, Dr. Lawrence Tete, indicated that when they speak the truth on the pulpit, they are classified and they are bosked up in politics. But the reality is that they actually never stop speaking the truth. So I am challenging you to run and to fire on double cylinders in your coils to stand for the truth. If you cannot actually fly, run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, actually crawl. But by all means, do not stop moving. Do not stop moving, and do not stop moving. Let me indicate that for Ghana to be relevant in global affairs, it is important that we stretch a hand of invitation. We need back certain class of people. Ghana and Africa needs back all our patriotic clergy people. We need back all our patriotic academians. We need back all our patriotic writers. Let us situate our situation in the right context, and let us be able to sell Ghana as a product out there. I believe we can, and this generation of young people will be able to do so. Long live all of us. Long live the nation Ghana. Long live the Ghanaian youth. I salute all of you. God bless you.